Live here, 11:23 p.m., February the 28th. This is Hannibal, HannibalTV.com, and I'm going to have a very short Wrestling Observer review for you today because I've had a long day. I conducted a career interview with none other than the Barbarian earlier today. He's already in town for his match tomorrow, teaming with Haku against Blood Hunter and Scorpio. I probably will post one clip of that before I go to bed tonight, but it was a good interview. And he did confirm for me that he has actually never wrestled on an independent event in Canada ever. He's only ever wrestled for the WWE in Canada. So tomorrow night's show in Smith Falls will be his first ever independent wrestling appearance in Canada. So if you live in the Ottawa, Smith Falls, Cornwall, Kingston area, I would suggest you go to that event for the chance to meet Barbarian, Haku, Scorpio, Lufizzo, Bianca Corelli, Santino's daughter, Jeremy Provitt. The list goes on and on. It's worth it for the meet and greet alone. Tickets start at $15.50 and $20.50 in advance at ticketpro.ca. But I'll get into the news. Hi, Anthony and Ralph. Nice day in Nevada. Yeah, it's freezing here, and we had like 2 or 3 days of constant snow. Hopefully, one of these days I'll be moving to Arizona. But I am going to Arizona next month, by the way, where I will be conducting. I'm getting distracted here, but I'm conducting a very special interview with Dan Severn, among others. But he is going to take me all over the Phoenix area to places that are special to him, including many places within Arizona State University, where he was a coach and a highly successful wrestler. But let me start with the WWE news. Batista's My Spy movie is going to come out March 12th. Hasn't been announced yet, but I guess WWE's TV deal in India is close to being finalized. They did have an old contract getting about $34 million a year, according to Meltzer. This new contract might give them up to $125 million a year. So for people saying WWE's doomed, they're getting these huge TV contracts still, which, by the way, I'll say it, I support 100% their decision again for Goldberg to beat the fat guy in the rubber mask yesterday. Stupid gimmick. Name me one good match the Fiend has had. And what the hell is this whole stupid Fiend character? Is he Bray Wyatt or is he the Fiend? The only good thing about it was Waylon Mercy doing the buzzard voice, but it would have been a hell of a lot cooler if they brought him in with Waylon Mercy actually managing him. Happy to see Goldberg as champion. Very recognizable to mainstream people. Looks like a champion, which a lot of wrestlers can't say these days. Matt Hardy, it's been confirmed by Dave Meltzer in The Observer here. He's just teasing going everywhere, but he hasn't signed anywhere. And WWE probably doesn't want him to go anywhere either. They'll probably make him a very good offer to stay. SmackDown, February 21st in Glendale, Arizona, outside of Phoenix. Speaking of Phoenix, 6,300 fans. Raw did the only house show of the weekend. As we know, WWE has cut way, way, way back on house shows. They went to Brandon, Manitoba, which is a small town, Manitoba, Canada, that drew 2,250 fans, and it was their first time coming there since 2003. The next night, Raw was in Winnipeg doing the first TV taping in Winnipeg in 15 years, and they drew an excellent house of 11,000 fans. As far as NXT, February 21st, they were in Milwaukee. They had 900 fans. They were also in Ocala, Florida, that same night, drew 300 fans. February 22nd in Cocoa, Florida. NXT had 200 fans. They were also in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, drew 950 fans that same night. The biggest NXT event of the week was February 23rd, St. Paul, Minnesota, historically huge wrestling town, 1,500 fans for that. AEW this past week in Independence, Missouri, had 3,700 fans. Their Dynamite taping next week in Broomfield, Colorado, is apparently in danger of being the lowest attended AEW event yet. Only 2,500 tickets sold, less than a week out. And they are also giving away 2 tickets for anyone that makes a $50 Red Cross donation. So that shows they're starting to get desperate for fans. They're giving away tickets like that. In fighting news, UFC's event in Auckland, New Zealand, February 23rd, which actually aired on February 22nd in the US, had 10,025 fans with a gate of 1,239,625 US, which was a record for that arena. The Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder fight on the 22nd did an estimated 800,000 to 850,000 buys on pay-per-view, which is considered disappointing. Their conservative estimate had been they were hoping for buys around the 1 million range, and they did not reach that. And for anyone that didn't see that, Fury gave a dominant performance. He definitely had a huge size and reach advantage over Wilder, and I guess Wilder did an entrance where he was wearing a heavy robot suit. So he was saying that that probably wasn't a good idea because it made him tired wearing that before the fight. I am not a fan of those hokey entrances in boxing, I'll be honest. Mike Tyson had the best boxing entrance when he was kicking ass in the 80s, and he didn't need any of that crap. I'm also not a fan of all that stuff in wrestling either, to be perfectly honest. Superstar Billy Graham, you ever see him come out in Madison Square Garden and literally feel the pandemonium in the air just watching it on TV, let alone being in the building with no music, just his own charisma? That's impressive to me. Will I see Superstar Billy Graham when I'm in Phoenix? Pizzo27 says, yes, I will, for sure. Joe Beck, thanks for all the content. Well, thank you for watching. I've had a lot of positive feedback on the Adrian Adonis daughter interview I did earlier this week. Hi to Michael Kennedy, if you're still watching. Very good guy. I'll only answer a couple questions because I still have a lot of work to do tonight. Have I ever tried to get a hold of Jim Hurd? John Krezap says, no, but I would like to interview him. Definitely, I would. MC said I watched a pirated stream of the Wilder Fury, and I only watched the highlights. I'll be perfectly honest. I probably would have gone to a bar and watched it if someone had offered to buy me drinks all night, but I'm just didn't care enough about it to watch. But that's not saying it wasn't well promoted. I just like boxing highlights or like the classic fights. But if they ever post it free, who knows? I might watch it. I often like to watch boxing before I either train and fighting or work out or while I'm eating. Last question here. I got to meet Tony Atlas and also John Cena's father at a show photos were $5 and tickets were $15. That's American money, probably not Canadian. That's not bad at all. And Tony Atlas, I think I'm doing a shoot interview with him next weekend in Albany. Not 100% confirmed on that, but I think it's going to happen. And we're looking to actually possibly do a Canadian retirement match with Tony Atlas this year in Great North Wrestling, but I have to talk to him more about AJRX's. That Adrian Adonis daughter interview I did was good. Remember when he and Don Morocco beat the crap out of Piper at the flower shop? Can I get a career shoot interview with Bagwell? I was supposed to a couple months ago, around the time we did the Just Incredible interview, but some stuff happened with the shady promoter and it was canceled. I will get Bagwell eventually. Mark Gruber, Adonis for the WWE Hall of Fame. He would be definitely merited to go in there. However, as his daughter said in the interview, they did sue WWE over something to do with the Adrian Adonis toy that I guess they weren't getting royalties for, according to what she said. And WWE, unless you're Sylvain Grenier, Pat Patterson's little buddy there, if you sue WWE, they really don't like you. So that really will hurt Adrian Adonis's chances. So have a good night, everyone. And if you live within driving distance of Smith Falls, Ontario, I highly suggest you come to the Great North Wrestling event there tomorrow night. It's a huge, huge, huge event. Lots of meet and greet opportunities, filmed for actual television as well as the Hannibal TV. So it's going to be a big show. More information at thehannibaltv.com. Sid for the Hall of Fame. I agree with that, Joe Beck, but he's not on their friends list, apparently, even though he's more deserving than a lot of people in there.